Okay, guys, get ready with me while I talk about the difference between friendships in your 20s versus your 30s. I went through the most painful. This is what happens when I like never have had acne on my neck before, and my hormones are changing in my 30s. So there you go. Um, but anyway, back to the story. I had the most painful friend breakup last year. My best friend of almost 10 years. And it really forced me to think about what matters to me um, as I'm growing older and the friendships I have in my life. Um, which I'll talk about that breakup more um in a few. But I think that so look, that was just kind of to blur the skin tone and imperfection. Let's go in with this cue. I got the Merit. I was influenced, but I actually really like it. I love the texture of it. Um, so what was I saying? Oh, okay, yeah. So I feel like when you're in your 20s, because no one knows who they are in their 20s. Like we are set out on our own, called professionals and adults, and it's like we have no idea like what we're doing. And I think a lot of um our the criteria rather for um choosing friends. I came prepared, you guys. I have like a wet little napkin or towel. A lot of the qualities we use for um kind of filtering our friends is, who does this person make it look like I am, right? Like we're so worried, or at least I was, about um that friend or friend group, making sure that they were a reflection of who I wanted the world to perceive me to be. Some of the people in that friend group, were aligned, and um, some were not. Oh my God, I like bit my lip into oblivion. Um, that's better. Just get everything nice, a nice palette. Okay, I feel like I want more of a full coverage. So I got the El Maquillage. It actually matches my skin perfectly. And I ordered it online without um any shade matching in person. But anyway, what I was saying was and that's totally normal. Like I was telling my friend um the other day, there's no room for shame in my house. And so all of the choices that I made in my 20s and my teens, um, ones that might not be aligned with who I am today, I do not, you know, shame myself for in any way. Not that there was anything to be ashamed of the friends that I had in my 20s, but the qualifiers with which I used to choose my friends, probably not the best. Let's do this Westman Atelier. Um, it's like it's called the Liquid Super Loaded. Um, that's it, Liquid Super Loaded. And it's the peach color, and it just like gives your skin a nice little glow. I love that the peach is like good for any skin tone. Okay, I digress. Back to friendships. So, you know, in addition to like choosing friends based on who they reflect back to you, the way that you want to be perceived. by others. This can be where they went to school, the job they have, their friends, like any kind of a superficial qualifier. But now that I am 34, I'm like, how does this person make me feel? And in my practice with somatic experiencing therapy, another Westman Atelier, love her. Somatic experiencing therapy, which is really about learning to pay attention to your body, right? Your body is um your body's the captain of the ship when it comes to decision making, when it comes to um knowing inside if a person, a place, a situation, I'm gonna break my laptop, um, a relationship, a job is right for you, right? Like your body responds. Your mind is not supposed to be the decision maker. And I think that listening to your body is really a skill that has to be acquired, not for everyone, but at least for me, I'll speak for me, is a skill that I had to acquire over time. Just bringing in a little bit of human design. I'm a generator, and my um, response is sacral. So I feel things in my gut, and they're typically either a hell body, a whole body, hell yes, or just or no. There's really no. My gut, my sacral doesn't know. Maybe it's like always a yes or no, and that has really been so incredibly helpful for me to um, make decisions by in my life so far. Let's see, what should we do, guys? Oh, let's do eyebrows. My eyebrows are so thin from plucking them, or actually getting them waxed from the time I was like, I don't know, 13. My mom was like, you can get them waxed. I will, if I could go back now. This is Westman Atelier again. I'm just gonna do little tiny strokes. Um, but yeah, the friends I have now, um, I never would have, how do I say this? They're the most deeply genuine friendships I've probably ever had in my life. And if I had not done the inner work to understand who I am and what matters to me, I would still be using qualifiers that resulted in really superficial relationships to choose the friends I had, which would leave me feeling really empty. And so when it comes to friendships, again, I use my body because your body knows. Like, when you meet someone and you're like, I don't feel like myself. Like, that's nothing to say about them. Like, there's something wrong with them. It just could genuinely mean like your level of consciousness, your frequency, to not be too woo-woo, is just not aligned. And really everything comes down to alignment. Um, and paying attention to that is really valuable, I think. So your friendships in your 30s, I remember my grandmother, she went to Howard, and that's where she made her really close friendships. And she had a friend named Beverly. And she would always talk to me and my sisters and my cousins about Beverly. And uh, in her old age, she came and lived with my uncle once my grandfather passed away. She came and stayed with him for a bit. And she would sit on the couch in the late morning, and she would call up Beverly, and she'd be like, "Hey Beverly, how's it going? What are you doing?" And I remember thinking like, wow, how incredible to have uh a friend for that long, to see you go through all the different iterations of your life, all the different iterations of yourself. And like what a gift, and I hope that I have that. Okay, guys, we're not gonna talk while I do this liquid eyeliner, like thoughts and prayers. I feel like, oh, oops, I messed up. It's fine. I'm gonna put mascara on and we're gonna cover. Fine, you guys, we'll fix it. It's fine. Let's do the other one. That looks crazy, but it's fine. Oh my God. Yeah, this is okay. Okay. At least they're both like kind of heavy. It's fine. I feel like anyone who puts on liquid eyeliner or mascara with their mouth closed is probably a psychopath. Like your mouth needs to be fully agape to do it correctly. Okay, let's do. Uh-oh. Oh, hold please. My trusty travel bag. I got this from Kuyana. Love. Okay, anyway, back to what I was saying. So my grandmother, she had this friend Beverly, right? And the greatest gift, I think, is to have that friend you can call, not just any time of night, but you can call um and just like sit on the phone, but with like living your life. Like that's to me the best. Um and what I found is necessary in friendships is has proven equally as necessary in relationships. And that is to, I think, the only relationships that have really left a lasting impact on me in a romantic sense are those in which I felt deep respect and admiration. And I do think those are essential components for any really impactful relationship, whether it be romantic or platonic or friendship. And you know what? I might have her on this podcast and to talk about our friend breakup and why that, now we have gotten back together as best friends and we needed that time apart. But having a true defined sense of self and um world that you can kind of like commingle and bring together um your own sovereignty of being, right? And not a codependent relationship. That's when it starts to get kind of prickly, right? Like you need to always know who you are and act in alignment with who you are. And when we're in middle school and high school and elementary school, it's like so easy to fall into. It's normal and natural. You have the best friends, you never leave them, you do everything together, your identities are one, but it's essential as you grow older to, you know, come into who you are and like hold steady in that and provide something for that relationship to kind of um to learn about each other, to grow into, not do everything together, not have all the same interests. Relationships, friendships, and romantic relationships really aren't all that different, I don't think. Um, Blush, like, totally just, to me, has always topped off any makeup look. Although I don't have makeup looks, I kind of tend to do my makeup the same always. Like, I don't wanna look like a different person. I just wanna look more like me. Perfect, perfect, perfect. What is going on with my hair? Perfectly splendid. I love horror movies and, like, horror shows, which always surprises people because, like, I'm, like, literally butterflies and, like, you know, girliness. Um, so people are always like, "What?" Oh my God, sorry. Um, that my best friend is texting me right now, back to back. Some Laneige, I don't know how you really say that, but I think it's Laneige. And I'm gonna go over that with some Ilia. And I don't do lip liner or anything like that. Like I can't be bothered. And then let's go over that with Westman Atelier. This is called Nana. I love the name of this one. It just like gives it a little, you know, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, cute. So anyway, moral of the story, point being is friendships. I always say this to my friends and to myself. The only thing guaranteed in life is change and impermanence. Friendships will change throughout our decades of life, definitely between our 20s and 30s. We'll see if that changes a lot for me between my 30s and 40s. But I think the acceptance of that like your friends are your everything in your teens and your 20s, and they become less of everything in your 30s and more of these supportive characters um, in your life while you are continuing to define yourself and hopefully acting as the main character in your life. So, um, I rambled and I hope you guys enjoyed my little, it wasn't really a tutorial, it was more like, let's just have a chit chat. Um, but thank you for watching and come back to the Allegorist.